Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into some essential tips and tricks for Avowed. Whether you're new to Obsidian's games or you're a seasoned RPG player, there are plenty of things to keep in mind as you venture into the rich world of Yora. From combat strategies to world exploration, I've got you covered with everything you need to know to make your journey through Avowed a lot more rewarding. So grab your sword, gather your magic, and let's get into it. Tip number 1. Master the magic system. One of the coolest aspects of Avowed is the magic system, which offers a ton of flexibility. Unlike many RPGs where magic can feel a bit one-dimensional, Avowed gives you the ability to combine different elemental effects for powerful and unique results. For example, you can mix fire and ice to create explosive bursts or combine electricity with wind for devastating area of effect attacks. My first tip here, experiment. Don't just stick to the basics. Try different combinations and see how they interact with enemies in the environment. You might find some really fun and effective combos that give you an edge in tough battles. Tip number 2, pay attention to character builds. As with any RPG, your character build is going to have a massive impact on your playstyle. In Avowed, you'll have a variety of classes and skill trees to choose from, so it's important to plan ahead. If you're more of a fighter, focus on building strength and endurance to tank through battles. If you prefer sneaking around and using magic, you'll want to invest in stealth and intellect. A good tip here is to balance your offensive and defensive skills early on. You never know when you might need to switch up your approach. Also, pay attention to your secondary skills. Being able to craft potions, repair weapons, or unlock special dialogue options can really help you later in the game. Tip number 3, choose your factions wisely. One of the things Avowed does really well is giving you the freedom to align with different factions throughout the game. But be careful, your choices matter. Factions in Avowed aren't just quest givers. They'll shape the political and social landscape, and siding with one can lead to enemies in other areas. The key tip here is to get to know the factions and their goals. Think about how their missions align with your personal goals and moral compass. Some factions might offer you powerful rewards, while others might lead you down a path of darker consequences. Keep a mental note of who you're working with and who might become your enemy later on. Tip number 4, explore everything. Exploration is a huge part of Avowed, and trust me, there's a lot to uncover. From hidden dungeons to secret caves, you're going to want to take your time exploring the vast world of Yora. In Obsidian games, there's always something off the beaten path that's worth discovering. Whether it's a hidden lore book, a rare item, or an unexpected NPC with a side quest. So here's a big tip. Don't rush through the main story. Take the time to wander, talk to NPCs, and poke around in those side areas. You'll find treasure, lore, and all kinds of little gems that make the world feel alive and rewarding. Tip number 5. Combat tips. Don't forget the environment. Combat in Avowed is fast-paced, fluid, and tactical, which means there are lots of opportunities to use the environment to your advantage. Whether it's setting fire to a group of enemies with a fire spell, using the terrain to block arrows, or throwing enemies into traps, you can turn the tide of battle in creative ways. One of the best combat tips here, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't just focus on the enemies. Look for environmental objects like barrels, explosive traps, or high ground that could give you an advantage. It's not just about raw power, it's about smart positioning and using your environment to outsmart your opponents. Tip number 6. Customize your gear. Like most RPGs, Avowed is going to feature a variety of weapons and armor. But what makes it even more interesting is the customization options. Whether you're upgrading your weapon or enhancing your armor, make sure you're taking full advantage of the gear customization system. A key tip here, don't settle for the first weapon or armor you find. Upgrade your gear when you can and tailor it to suit your playstyle. If you're a magic user, look for items that boost your spellcasting abilities. If you're a warrior, invest in items that enhance your defense or increase your damage output. The right gear can make a huge difference in how you approach combat. Tip number 7. Save often, but wisely. I know, it sounds like a basic tip, but Avowed is shaping up to be a massive open-world RPG, and the world is full of danger. From tough enemies to random events, you never know when things might go sideways. So, save your game often, but be smart about it. Don't just rely on autosave, make manual saves at key moments, especially before important decisions or major fights. That way, if something goes wrong, you can reload and try a different approach without losing too much progress. Tip number 8. Dialogue and choices. Think before you speak. As we all know, Obsidian games are known for their complex dialogue systems and meaningful choices. In Avowed, the way you interact with NPCs and the choices you make during conversations will have a significant impact on how the story unfolds. So don't rush through dialogue options. Take the time to consider your responses. A great tip here is to use your character's strengths during conversations. If you've invested heavily in intelligence or charisma, you might be able to talk your way out of combat or persuade others to join your cause. Every choice can open up new paths, so choose wisely. Tip number 9. Don't forget about side quests. Side quests are more than just distractions in Avowed. They can be essential for building your character and understanding the world. Many side quests are deeply tied to the lore and factions of the world, and completing them can give you important rewards like unique items, experience points, or even lore that will help you later in the main story. So, when you see a side quest pop up, don't just brush it off. Take the time to tackle them. You never know what secrets or rewards you might unlock. Tip number 10. Build strong relationships with companions. One of the most rewarding aspects of any RPG is the relationships you form with your companions, and Avowed is no exception. Throughout your journey, you'll meet a variety of characters who can join you in your quest. These companions each have their own backstories, motivations, and unique abilities, which can make all the difference in combat and your overall experience. A crucial tip here: take the time to build strong relationships with your companions. Not only will this deepen the narrative and give you more insight into their personalities, but many companion interactions will unlock special quests or abilities that can help you in battle. Plus, the choices you make in dialogue and how you treat your companions can influence their loyalty, which may affect the story or your team dynamics in critical moments. So don't just focus on yourself. Get to know your allies and you'll be rewarded with richer gameplay and even stronger support in your adventures. So, there you have it, folks. Those are some of my top tips and tricks for Avowed. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to get ahead in your journey, these tips should help you make the most of your time in the world of Eora. Are you excited for Avowed? Let me know what tips you have for the game, or what you're most looking forward to when it launches. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all things gaming. Thanks for watching, and good luck in your adventures.
Unseen, unheard. Come on, hit